Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Recha Kodesh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Leviticus, the 18th chapter. And the Lord Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, I am the Lord Yahweh your God. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. Because they did a lot of corrupt things in Egypt, right? There are a lot of heathenistic activities going on in there. So the Lord says, you're supposed, even though you dwelt there for so long, you're not supposed to do after their ways. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do. So when you go there, don't follow the practices they do over there. Neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. Once again, don't follow their practices, their worship, all of that. Ye shall do my judgments and keep mine ordinances to walk therein. I am the Lord Yahweh your God. So you follow the things that I instruct you to do. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them. I am the Lord Yahweh. So the Lord is saying, like, if you follow my ways, you're going to be all right. None of you shall approach to any that is near of kin to him, so a close relative, to uncover their nakedness, that is to have sexual relations with them. Now, there is, as it'll expound as we go on down, this is like basically breaking the sexual barrier, right? Certain barriers or lines are not to be crossed with certain people. Here, one example being those that are of your close kin. I am the Lord Yahweh. The nakedness of thy father, or the nakedness of thy mother, shalt thou not uncover. She is thy mother, thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of your father is the nakedness of your mother. What that means is, if you have sexual relations, i.e., you uncover the nakedness of your mother, because that's what it means. And even in a literal sense, before you have sex, you have to actually take off the clothes, right? You have to see their nakedness, right? But it signifies those sexual relations. If you have sexual relations with your mother, that's considered uncovering her nakedness, but it's also considered uncovering the nakedness of your father. And it'll later tell you that your father's wife is his nakedness. Okay? So by having those relations with your mother, you're also uncovering the nakedness of your father, which you're not supposed to do. It says, she is thy mother, thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of thy father's wife shalt thou not uncover. And this could be like a case of Reuben, right? Where your father has a concubine or a second wife that is not the mother that birthed you. You're not supposed to sleep with her or have any sexual relations with her. So as it says, the nakedness of thy father's wife, which would be your mother, shalt thou not uncover. It is thy father's nakedness. See? So the wife of the father is his nakedness. When you lay with her or you uncover her nakedness, you have uncovered his nakedness. The, the nakedness of thy sister, the daughter of thy father, or daughter of thy mother, whether she be born at home or born abroad. So whether you were raised with her, she was born in your household or not, she is your sister. Even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover. You're not supposed to have those sexual relations with her. Uncovering your nakedness is just another, like a euphemistic way of saying having sex with them or having sexual relations with them. The nakedness of thy son's daughter, that's your granddaughter, or of thy daughter's daughter, i.e., your granddaughter. Even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover, for theirs is thine own nakedness, meaning that just as the father's wife is his nakedness, your grandchild is your nakedness because they technically come of you, and you're not supposed to uncover their nakedness. The nakedness of thy father's wife's daughter, so that would be your father's wife's daughter. Yeah, that would be your sister. Okay, I have to think about that for a second. Begotten of thy father, she is thy sister. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's sister. She is thy father's near kinswoman. That is your aunt. You ain't supposed to be doing that. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy mother's sister. Once again, that's also your aunt on your mother's side, for she is thy mother's near kinswoman. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's brother. Thou shalt not approach to his wife. She is thine aunt. So your father's brother is your uncle. Uncovering your uncle's nakedness means you're having sexual relations with your aunt, which is your uncle's wife. Okay. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy daughter-in-law. She is thy son's wife. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. That's very off. Okay. You ain't supposed to be dealing with your daughter-in-law. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy brother's wife. It is thy brother's nakedness. Okay. That's pretty self-explanatory. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter. So you cannot have a mom and her daughter. You cannot do that. Neither shalt thou take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter. So you cannot have a woman and her daughter, or a woman and her granddaughter. You cannot have both. To uncover her nakedness, for they are her near kinswoman, it is wickedness. So you can't do that. Neither shalt thou take a wife to her sister to vex her, to uncover her nakedness, beside the other in her lifetime. Meaning you cannot have two sisters, okay, because they would become rivals. And that's so if you're popping one, you can't go and deal with the other one. As it says in the NLT, it says, while your wife is living, do not marry her sister and have sexual relations with her, for they would be rivals. So you ain't supposed to be doing that. Verse 19, also thou shalt not approach unto a woman to uncover her nakedness, as long as she is put apart for her uncleanness, meaning she's on her menstrual cycle. You're not supposed to go and pop that. Okay, cannot go and have sexual intercourse with a woman that is on her menstrual cycle. Moreover, thou shalt not lie carnally with thy neighbor's wife to defile thyself with her. That's adultery. And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire unto Molech. Your seed is your children. You're not supposed to do child sacrifices unto Molech, which is a fire god or a deity, an idol. Neither shalt thou profane the name of the Lord thy God. I am the Lord Yahweh. In doing this, you would profane the name of the Lord, because this is a stain on his reputation, being that we are his people, and he has commanded us straightly on how to serve him. This would be you performing a sacrifice unto another god, another deity. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is abomination. The word lie here means to lie sexually with. Do not have sexual intercourse with mankind, two men, as you would with a woman. Neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself therewith. That is bestiality. That is off. You can't do that. Neither shall a woman stand before a beast to lie down there too. It is confusion. So a woman ain't supposed to be busting it open for an animal. All right. That is also bestiality, and that is wicked. And when you go into that word lie, or lie there too, right? It says here to lie stretched out as crazy work. So she basically, she wide open. To lie down for copulation of woman with beast. That's having sex with an animal. You can't do that. Okay. Where we at with it? Verse 24. Defile not ye yourselves in any of these things. For in all these the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you. So the Canaanites, they do all of these things, which is why the Lord is saying, you're not supposed to do that. The land is defiled, therefore I do visit the iniquity thereof upon it. So by them doing this, they have defiled the land. And as a result, the Lord is going to visit their iniquity upon them by driving them out of the land. Hence, we would get the land for ourselves. And the land itself vomiteth out her inhabitants, right? So it's basically going to drive them out. When you vomit something, you throw it back up out of you. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, and shall not commit any of these abominations, neither any of your own nation, nor any stranger that sojourneth among you. So nobody, no Israelite that is of the that is homeborn, as it says, right, or a stranger, which the word there I believe is gar when you look into it, which is an Israelite foreigner. Neither you nor them should gar is allowed to do this, right? You're all supposed to follow this law the Lord has given to us. For all these abominations have the men of the land done, which were before you, and the land is defiled. See, that's what they were doing in the land, the Canaanites, that is, in order to defile the land. That the land spew not you out also when ye defile it. So don't go in there and do the same things they did, because that's what got them kicked out. And if you do it, it's going to get you kicked out, as it spewed out the nations that were before you. For whosoever shall commit any of these abominations, even the souls that commit them shall be cut off from among their people. And I believe the next chapter or so goes into the actual judgment of these actions. Therefore shall ye keep mine ordinance, and that ye commit not any one of these abominable customs, see, which were committed before you by those heathens, and that ye defile not yourselves therein. I am the Lord Yahweh your God. And that brings us to the end of the book of Leviticus, the 18th chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Recha Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.